Hey guys, I thought I'd do a video today. I was out in my garage screwing around. Finally, something came in the mail that I've been kind of waiting for. Kind of a little bit of a bummer. I got myself a timber slick. Uh, kind of rusty. Needs a little cleaning up on the top. That doesn't really bother me that much. Uh, Paid $73 for this, and it was a little rusty, and I thought, oh, big deal. Well, I turned it over, and on the listing they didn't mention that it had, you can't really see it on the camera, but right about here is a crack, and it's just a crack in the hard laminated steel part. So I called the guy that I bought it off of and said, hey, look, you sold this to me, and you never even mentioned on your listing that it had a big crack in it. And the guy was like, well, what do I got to do to make it right? And I said, well, I could probably use it the way it is, but I don't think it was worth $71 or $73 that I paid for it. So he said, well, how about we drop it down to 40 bucks? So that's what we did. And I figured for 40 bucks, this would at least get me started. And then if I found something better later on down the road, that'd be good. So anyways, this is the project. It came already sharpened, and it's almost razor sharp. The back of it is relatively flat. Somebody stoned it. I may stone it again a little bit more just to flatten it out a little bit more. But really, it's just a matter of, we're going to clean this thing up, and we're going to make a handle for it. And I'm just going to take my angle grinder with a flapper wheel, and I'm just going to kind of clean the top of this up just a little bit, just to get rid of some of the roughness on it. Not going to try to take it down all the way, but I am going to clean it up. There's a few pits in here and stuff, so I'm never going to get all these pits out, and I'm not even going to try. The bottom's relatively flat. There's a few pits back here. Like I said, there again, I'm not going to try to take out the pits. It's still going to ride it still rides flat on here. This thing is not perfectly flat. I noticed that it's close, but it's got just a little tip this way in it. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it was like that, or if it was because they ground on it a little bit, or what. But I did some reading, and I guess some of them were like that anyways, because that way you had a little bit of you could do a little of this to adjust how much you're cutting. So whether it's supposed to be like that or not, I don't know. My theory is that it probably wasn't supposed to be that way, and somebody probably used it for something they weren't supposed to use it for, and that's why this hard plate cracked too, because they probably tried to basically bend this a little bit somehow, some way, and maybe they did. Although this thing is what is this? Yeah, 410 thousandths thick, so it's a pretty thick piece of plate. It's heavy. It's 15 inches long. For a first time timber slick, I think I can make this work though. It'll at least get me started as far as slicks go. So anyways, I'm guessing there's no name on it. The name's long gone, but I'm guessing that this is a pretty old one. It's got a really long in fact, let me get a tape measure. Okay, anyways, this thing's got a really long tang. The tang is about 4 1/4 inches long, and like I said, the overall is 15 1/4 inches long, and it is just a hair under 3 inches wide. So it's a pretty, like I said, it's pretty heavy, and yeah, it's about 400 thousandths thick. Probably a little thicker at this back than it is at the front, but not much. There's not much of a taper in it. Somebody's cleaned the edges up too on this thing. The top edges are rounded. Looks like they were done that way originally. and then the bottom edges are pretty square. So, you know, it is what it is. It's a beginner's tool for me. You know, maybe later on down the road I get some more money, I'll do something better. But for 40 bucks, I think not a bad deal. So let me go ahead and get this stuff all ready to go, and we'll try to clean this thing up and make it look like a cool tool again. Okay, so I got this flapper wheel. I'm just gonna, it looks like it might have been used once. It's a pretty fine grit. I'm just gonna put it on the angle grinder, and we're just gonna use this just to clean things up a little bit. We're not trying to take off a whole lot of stock. We're just gonna use it to clean it up. I gotta find a place to clamp it into the vise, and I'll get back with you after I get the chisel clamped in. Okay, so I got it clamped in the vise, so I'm just gonna take my angle grinder, I'm gonna run it right along this thing and just kind of smooth it up a little bit, take some of that stuff off there, and I might go ahead and clean some of this tang up a little bit. And I don't know if I'll be able to record it or not, but I'll try to see if I can set the camera up here somewhere. Oh, safety first too. I'll take these glasses off here. Okay, I'm back. So it's a little cleaner than it was. Like I said, I wasn't trying to take off a whole lot of steel, just clean it up a little bit. And there is some pits in it. We're good to go though, as far as that goes. I'll probably go ahead and take some heavy sandpaper and give this a quick sanding and a little bit of a wire brush. I'm going to do that right now off camera real quick. This thing's pretty old. It's definitely hand forged. You can see the forging marks in it up in here and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Inside of the socket is absolutely perfect. It's just a shame that somebody probably left it lay out in the weather or something. But like I said, for a very first one, I think we could make this work. So I've never done this before, so I hope I'm doing this right. But anyways, I'm going to take a stone and I'm just going to stone this with a hard stone and you know, by hand, just regular stone. And basically this edge is sharp. Now I've heard that these edges were supposed to be rounded. Don't think I'm going to do that right now. Maybe later on down the road if I decide to, I will. For right now, I'm not going to. You can see a tiny little crack. I don't know if you guys will pick that up on camera, but there's a tiny little crack right there, and that's where the laminated steel and the regular steel come together. I don't know if that'll hurt anything or not, but like I said, this is for a beginner thing, so you know, it is what it is. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay this down and put some oil on it, and just give it a coat, give it a good stoning, just to take out any high spots that might be on there. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this or not. Put it like all kinds of stuff in the way here. Trying to set this camera up so you guys can see all this stuff. And you might not be able to see this one. Let's see. I got a glass block on here that I use for planes. Okay, well, that's close. Don't need the safety glasses. Don't need this stuff here. So basically, I'm just going to take this and I'm basically laying this flat. I'm sorry that the camera angle sucks, but it's just I'm doing this with my tablet, and I'm basically going to take this, put a bunch of oil on it right here on my workbench. I'm going to take the heavy side of my stone and just start stoning it. And I'll stone it a little bit just to make sure I got all the high spots off. Okay, let me do this for a little bit and I'll get back with you. Okay, so after a little bit of time of stoning it, which didn't take too long, it was pretty flat, other than the big old pock marks in it from the pitting, but everything else it seems to be pretty good. Yeah, most of the rust is off of it now, at least as much as you're going to get off of it. Like I said, there's some pretty good pits in this thing. Yeah, what can I say? It's a beginner's timber framing slick. This is razor sharp. I don't even know what angle they yeah. I'll bet you that's hair popping already. Should check the angle on that and see what it is. I'm not even sure what it's supposed to be. Let's see how sharp it is. Yeah, it's shaven hair, so that's not so bad. And we can finish this thing up by stropping it just a few times, which is not the easiest thing to do. I'm just stropping it on a piece of leather. That was definitely sharp now. Let's try this again. Yeah. Yep. I could shave my beard with that if I wanted to. One more time. Not that I would want to shave with that. That would kind of be sucky. Okay, so the other thing I want to do is I want to go back and I want to hit this a little bit right in here with the flapper wheel, just to round this off just a little bit in here, and then we're going to call this cleaned up. Okay, so we got this all pretty much cleaned up. There's no burr out here to fix, so I'm not going to worry about that. Yeah, I'd say that's probably as good as this old guy's going to get without removing masses and masses amount of material off of it, which I don't really want to do. So it's just going to be in a ruffled timber framing slick, and you know, it is what it is. Brought a little bit of color back to it, but next thing we're going to do is make a big old handle for it, which that will be a part 2 video. We're going to turn a big handle on it for it, and we will set it up. It's a 15-inch slick. It's got a 4-inch tang. Any of you guys out there have any ideas as how long of a handle I should make for this? They're into the timber framing. Let me know, because I'm curious. This is going to be part of the toolkit that's going to the log cabin build, because we are going to timber frame our rafters and stuff. So let's. I want to get this right. And like I said, this was a $40 slick. It's got a little crack in the laminated part of the steel. It's not through the whole thing. So, I mean, it is what it is. This part seems to be welded fine. This is welded fine. I don't know how far back the lamination goes. I don't know. Maybe it only goes back this far, and that's where it cracked. Who knows? But, anyways, for as much timber framing as I'm going to do, which is basically my own house and maybe some outbuildings, this should work for me. Now, if I was going to get into business doing it, I'd probably get myself a really good one. But we're trying to do things on a budget, so this will at least get me going. And you know, got a slight up curve on the handle, not a lot, just a little bit. I had thought about heating this up and then bending it a little bit, but I figured no, I'm going to leave it alone, because if you take something flat like this piece of glass and you set it on this gently, it does have, and you guys probably can't see that, but it does clear. The handle just barely clears it. There might be a little bit of yap there, but not much. Like I said, it's 15 inches long too, so I don't see me. I could see me doing, if I was going to do something at an angle, you know, I don't know how much bigger than whatever the length of this blade is I'll need. Probably not a whole lot, but I think I can make this one do. And like I said, the handle almost clears. Probably does clear. I don't know, but this is definitely what I would consider a slick, not a chisel, which means that I was wrong, because this one, the handle doesn't clear all the way. So, you know, and if this is a chisel, a big giant timber frame chisel, wow, that's big. But it's definitely, I think, a slick, because I think it was supposed to have a handle on it to be pushed by hand, not driven with a mallet. You'd have to have a heck of a mallet to drive this thing. So, anyways, that's it for this video. If you like the video, like, subscribe, share. Put in the comments what kind of length handle I should make for this thing. And, you know, if I get some comments. Last time I did this, nobody commented, so you know, I ended up doing what I wanted to do. So anyways, just let me know, and I will get back with you. But anyways, that's part 1 to rebuilding an old slick. Thank you.